Good afternoon. This is Randy Wolken, President and CEO of MACNY in the Manufacturers Alliance of New York State. This is my COVID-19 update for Wednesday, April 22nd. The curve continues to flatten and numbers are down for the 9th straight day. The amount of net hospitalizations and number of intubations continues to decrease, but there are still new COVID hospitalizations every day, 1,366 yesterday. There were a total of 474 COVID-related deaths on April 21st. Of this, 446 were hospital deaths and 28 were in nursing homes. This represents a slight decrease from the previous day, and for the last several days has been generally flat. A total number of 15,302 New Yorkers have died due to COVID-19. The state will be partnering with the federal government to increase testing capacity, and the governor continues to ask that federal funding be approved for state and local governments. The president also agreed to waive the state FEMA match for relief funds. The governor would like to increase New York's testing capacity to 40,000 tests per day, which is really the maximum capacity of the system. As the state increases its testing capacity, there's a need for a large workforce to trace the positive cases and contacts so that they can follow through with the quarantine protocols. New York is working with New Jersey and Connecticut to build a tracing army. That will be needed to find positive cases and trace their contacts. Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg has volunteered to help the state develop the first ever testing, tracing, and isolation program. Johns Hopkins and Vital Strategies will also be assisting the state to develop the program. Bloomberg will contribute up to $10 million and will work through Johns Hopkins. The state will also tap SUNY and CUNY to draw from 35,000 students in medical fields who can serve as tracers. The state will coordinate the various tracing efforts and allow for this cross-jurisdictional tracing. In response to a question from a reporter about new treatments for coronavirus patients, Department of Health Commissioner Dr. Zucker said Regeneron, a New York-based pharmaceutical company, is looking at a series of antibodies as a possible solution. The New York City Council plans to introduce a COVID-19 relief package today. Also included in it is the New York City Essential Worker Bill of Rights, tenant protections, public health measures, and help for small businesses. These bills, and perhaps others, will be considered at public hearings over the next few weeks. The council plans to conduct business remotely, to continue to pass legislation during the crisis. You can see a listing of the Essential Workers Bill of Rights in New York City on our website and at the various links. There's also a series of New York City renter protections. You can also view those. And also prioritizing public health related to New York City. A section on protecting New York City's small businesses. You can also see through this update on our website that the New York State Controller, DiNapoli, has just released a report that includes the following regarding the fiscal impact of the state finances. The fiscal impact for the pandemic will be with us for some time. More federal assistance will be essential. The state ended its fiscal year 19-20 with a higher than projected general funds balance of $8.9 billion, but could face a cash crunch starting early in this new fiscal year. Long-term borrowing should only be used as a last resort, and if so, limited in scale and duration. Planned Medicaid savings remain uncertain. Extraordinary flexibility controls spending, requires extraordinary transparency and accountability. And the state must start as soon as possible to prepare for the next fiscal crisis. There are no changes to Empire State Development's essential businesses under that executive order. There are no changes to agency suspensions and reductions for New York City. There are several other links that you can look at in a variety of updates to a variety of either orders or regulations or Q&A that's being provided by each agency. There's a significant and ongoing conversation across the state about opening. There's significant conversation going on. The governor talked about it in his press conference yesterday, and he continues to talk about it publicly, of regional reopenings and how that might come into play, given the differences throughout the state when it comes to regions. It will be important for businesses to prepare for that, to come up with a plan, how they would do that, how they would do that safely. No matter how we unpause, there's going to be a significant amount of questions and, of course, worker concerns that we'll have to deal with as leaders. It's important to start to think about these things now. We'd like to help you in that process. We're helping companies stay open successfully now as essential businesses. I don't believe it'll be too long. We'll start to see additional businesses being allowed to reopen. So get your plan ready. If you want to check with us on any insights we have, obviously the manufacturing sector is our forte, but we also have a significant number of other members in a wide variety of professions where their ideas too could also be good ideas for you. You can reach us through our website or call our twin phones. We're working hard from home. We want to thank you for your hard work. These are difficult times. We know people are working hard, and actually one of the hardest things to do is actually to social distance, to stay home. We encourage you to do that. The curve is beginning to flatten. We're beginning to see the ability to begin to talk about reopening. We think that's important to reopen as soon as we can to save businesses and to save jobs. If you need me, you can get a hold of me through our website. You can call my office number. And I wish you well. Again, be calm, stay safe, and carry on. Have a nice evening.